Well, hey everyone, it's the Wednesday Making Money podcast on July 26th. We're going to talk stocks and we're going to talk sports. What comes through my email and what I get messaged with on a daily basis varies. I get asked about NFL, obviously, because NFL questions are starting to arise, obviously, as we get close to preseason. And I did spend some time last night preparing NFL and getting some of the projected rosters correct. So this is not accurate yet, but a lot has been done, and I spent a lot of time updating the player list. So for those of you who are, wanting my NFL time, I put out an offer. You can purchase my time in this algorithm for 24 hours and have it unlocked to use the rest of the season, but you own it for 24 hours and I won't sell it to anyone else. That's my new thing. If you'd like that and you'd like to get a head start on this, this is obviously what it looks like right now. I'm interested to see like what happened with Green Bay, for example. Like basically we've restructured the rosters in here now. So what we've done is we have a look and it says Jordan Love is the only quarterback that's recorded for Green Bay right now. I don't know who their backup is. I don't have a rating for him. So there's a lot of things that need to be done in this. However, it is certainly showing a restructuring, and it's saying that I guess Miami's probably lost some people. It's predicting a high scoring game in this Chargers Dolphins game. Thinks the Bears will beat the Packers because the Packers have apparently traded away Rodgers and who knows who else. It's an interesting look. So if you want a copy of this, make an offer and you can purchase the next 24 hours of the NFL file. If you just want a copy of things, it's not ready yet, really. I got a request today for a bunch of stuff, including baseball, which I prepared today. It's having a terrible day so far. So I'm glad I don't pay attention to baseball every day, but if you want a copy, it can be helpful, but it's also really frustrating and time consuming to update. So baseball is not going very well, but whatever. Let's talk about other things and things that actually make money, like the stock market straddler. Boy, I spent some time with this file today and it's doing some quite interesting things. Companies that are reporting earnings are doing amazing things in here and how far they move. And when you're playing the company as a straddle, you want a lot of movement. And sure enough, some things like Boeing, Union Pacific, ADP, Quest Diagnostics, all these things moved more than they needed to. And it just shows that when a company is reporting earnings, Waste Management is the one we had mentioned in previous videos. That was really the one to buy. And sure enough, they moved more than they needed to, just barely, but they did it. And it's really interesting to watch this. So it made me think that it's important to look at this by earnings day and see if any of these are good values. And what I did is I decided to go berserk. I decided to really play this fast and hard, meaning I decided that I was going to take every company that's at a reasonable price with a reasonable break-even boom number that's reporting earnings. I'm just going to go for it. And I bought Hershey. I bought Bristol Myers Squibb, wherever they are. Haven't bought T-Mobile yet, but I think I'll buy them tomorrow because they report at the end of the day on Thursday. Yep, bought Bristol Myers Squibb. I bought eBay, which is another one that if you look at this by earnings day, because sometimes the companies report earnings before the market opens and sometimes they do it after the market opens. So you have to pay attention to that because it matters, and you can certainly see movement after they release. And so eBay released, I believe, after market today. We'll find them eventually. eBay. Yep, they're down after market, even though they didn't move much during the day. So it's interesting, but they weren't that expensive, so I bought them. I really just went out and I bought everybody that's reporting earnings that's reasonably priced. And this is something we're going to try for a while because the movements tend to be drastic on days they report earnings. And so if you can get a good value on the options of the company, it's worth going for. I bought Shell. It's another one that's up here, under 3% boom. I did buy at least one Shell. So it's one of those things we're going to watch because when we look at what moved today, you can see that under today's boom number, companies that it says to straddle. I've been doing a video series on straddling stock options. It's complicated, but basically when a company moves a lot, you win. Well, I didn't say to buy Union Pacific, but it was actually quite reasonable here. And certainly they moved a lot and went up. Boeing was also sort of reasonable. They went up too. Like this is making $700 on one of your options because they went up by a bunch of dollars. Went up by $18 and you only had to pay a little over almost 1,100. So you make $700 on your call option at least, net profit selling it. So they did really well today. Waste Management, as I said, that was the one we talked about. That was quite reasonable, had a reasonable boom number. It was under $600. They moved almost $7 today. At some point, they were down even further. So there was additional profit to be made there. I mean, it's doing quite well. So when we look at what's coming up here on Thursday and Friday, right, we're looking for low costs. Mondelez is a possibility. They're aftermarket on Thursday. I mean, that's really cheap, so it probably says go for it. Shell I've already bought. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. BMY I've already bought, Bristol Myers Squibb. What else is of a reasonable price here? KBR, but they're only $63 a share. That's still a little expensive because the break-even boom number is not that great. So algorithm's not really recommending that. Textron, no, still too expensive. AbbVie is only at 4.36%, and that price has probably come down slightly. And they're probably reporting after market on the 27th. So that's a possibility right here, but not great. MDC Holdings, though, they have to move a ton. Northrop Grumman is actually fairly cheap at 3.83%, even though it's $1,750. Well, there's really not much. It's kind of too expensive for what's happening on Thursday and Friday. But we'll keep watching this and going out into next week. I did buy Hershey. Get ready for some Hershey squirts. We'll see what happens tomorrow. This break-even boom percentage was so low that I did risk it, and I tried buying some Hershey. So playing the straddle stock options in this manner, quite the volatile experience. And we're going to see what happens tomorrow with these big ones. Hershey, Shell. Let's just highlight them so we know what to watch. Hershey. This is very short term, just chasing earnings, paying a reasonable price for both options when earnings are being reported. I've seen it do successful things, and at this point, we're just going to give it a shot. We're just going to give it a shot. I also own a few more, but those are the big ones that are reporting tomorrow. Hershey, Shell, and Bristol Myers Squibb, and of course, eBay as well, which just reported. And this is a situation where they've moved down after hours, even though their earnings were reasonable. So as soon as I get the option to sell this, one of them for about $300 or more, I'm going to take that opportunity. And that may be on the downside. So I might be selling the put. We'll find out. But they just reported after hours, and this is not expensive, so we went for it. Crazy stuff. It's amazing how frequently these are making money on the day of earnings. So we'll just keep an eye on it. And there's a lot of action, a lot of earnings being reported this time of year. So I'll be doing that. So those who ask what I'm up to stock options. You can contact me directly if you want to get access to this file and want to compensate me for my time for analysis of what's going on here, because this is becoming so reliable that I only want to advise the Straddler stock options when it comes to making money on a more reliable basis and having the potential for making nice multiples on your money depending on movement. Using this file in conjunction with earnings release has just knocked it out of the park. So we'll see if that continues. Sports algorithms are not as reliable and not the same type of animal. But if you want them, you can purchase them from me and I will give them to you. All right. Good luck, everyone. May your picks and all your trades be winning.